It's the web. Today I have Lisa Monette, and she's known as the creator of the 5-day challenge called Come Alive on Camera, the 10 times video, live video acceleration, and her elite live video empire program. She's a social media voice coach, a growth strategist who specializes in creating authentic Facebook live video coaching for speakers who want their content to engage and convert. Who doesn't want that, right? And Lisa has created her own hybrid methodology, the Badass Live Method, a confidence performance framework to skyrocket client sales. She's personally been responsible for millions of dollars of sales and recruiting, including Pink Trophy on Wheels from Mary Kay Cosmetics, keynote training, along with 5K launches here on Facebook with her Come Alive on Camera challenges. She's worked with teams and trained with elite superstars such as Tony Robbins, top celebrity coach Roger Love, ABC, NBC Academy Awards, Emmy Clients, film pro Travis Shields, he's Brendon Bouchard's film guru, and Hollywood reel producer Jay Menez, among many more. Her authentic power to engage people and transform their lives has been has I can't even talk or can't even read. Has to be seen to be believed. Watch her in action in her captivating videos as she delivers the most effective tips that help her gain both rich and lasting connections with people. Her passion is to help entrepreneurs to stop stalling and to stand out in their life using video. How about that? What do you think?
I think that reading is not your forte. I think speaking is.
It's definitely.
I'm going to test you on that. Okay. Oh my God. Obviously, preparation is the mother of all skill.
Yeah. I should have read it a few more times. Hey, whatever. It's what it is some days. So what is happening with you? You're in Las Vegas, right?
Las Vegas? I'm in Las Vegas. We always check the, can you hear me okay? I want to make sure because sometimes I stall out.
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas. Everybody always thinks about the weather here, but it's the most stunning weather on the planet. It's May. It's about 78 degrees to get day, and it's gorgeous.
Wow, that's cool. See, I would have to fight for that because I live in Florida. Although Florida, we do have winter in Florida. Drops down to like 60.
We have winter too. We have like 30 degrees at night, like 20 degrees. People don't understand in the winter here. We do, but you guys are more humid. We get the dry, cold winter, but
yeah.
Fortunately,
I live near the beach. So I live between the Gulf and the beach. And so we get a breeze most of the time.
That's awesome. I'm looking down at my camera. I just want to make sure that this streamed, how everybody that's watching, we always go, make sure you're sharing it to people and stuff. Let me just make sure that I can confirm you, Mr. Steve Peck. Here you go with your fun, look at that fun face you have. Okay, there we are. Yay.
So tell me more about you. Like, I want to know more. I read your promotional bio, right? I'm going to call it that. Yeah. I want to know about the non-promotional bio. So tell me about you. How did you get to where you are?
The non-promotional bio. Yeah. How'd I get to where I am? You know what? I don't know. One step at a time.
Okay. That's fair.
I was, there's just, it's funny because obviously I'm a voice coach and a camera. I'm really a confidence coach to help people speak and express themselves. Can't even talk either. Express themselves on camera and in their daily life. And I grew up in Hollywood. I grew up in Los Angeles. My parents had us always in
How was
dancing.
That?
The best. You know what?
So you went to In-N-Out Burger?
Not at all. I was healthy.
Really?
I was into health foods and things. But no, Los Angeles in the old days was just so magical. I lived in a neighborhood called Highland Park, which is a very trending little area now in Eagle Rock. And Pasadena. I would go to UCLA, USC. I would go to Hollywood. I would do, just grew up with a lot of creativity. It was peaceful. The weather was beautiful in Southern California. A little bit of traffic, but it was lovely. I was very, very lucky to live. And Los Angeles was so diverse, and it still is, but it was really just diverse. Lots of people, lots of colors, lots of types. Nobody really bothered anybody about anything because it just was more peaceful but creative, and had, if you could get anything you wanted in Southern California, including beaches. I could go to the beach, go to the mountains, and go to the desert, all within an hour of each drive. So it had the best for everything.
You definitely have that over Florida.
I do. You guys are flat.
Yeah, we have no mountains, no hills. Like there's an overpass. Like,
you know what? The first time I went to Florida, I was training. I was an executive for this MLM company, and they had me going on these cruise ships, right, and doing these different trainings all over the East Coast. But I did 2 or 3 of these events where they took all these distributors, and it was, going out of Orlando, then going out of Tampa Bay. And then I stayed with one of the distributors that did an event, and I was in Titusville, where the NASA, right, isn't that where the spaceships took off, right, by there in Titusville? But I remember landing and going there and going, are we on the flat Earth? Like I couldn't, it was just like flat Earth. It was kind of creepy, but then I love going to the Bahamas and all that too. So
yeah, you have to get used to it. Definitely it's flat, and you have to get used to that.
Yeah.
It's different. In any case, that's enough of the geography. So,
exactly.
So tell me, so you lived in Los Angeles, and you got started doing what? How did you start?
I mean, my bio is so long, but probably the first thing I did is my first major job was I was hired into a top celebrity hair salon in Beverly Hills with a genius from Vidal Sassoon. And so I started that journey. I was very creative. I was very good in makeup, and my mother owned beauty salon. So that was it. And then one day I woke up and I said I wanted to be a flight attendant. So I went from the beauty world over to flying. And I did that for 10 years over the world. But then the airlines where there was like calling the shots of people's paychecks, and a lot of, this was way back even in the 80s and stuff. And somebody got me into Mary Kay Cosmetics, and I wasn't going to do it. I thought, ew, I don't want to do this like little old lady thing. And it wasn't true. I got in there, and that was the start of me really starting to learn about sales and promotion and recruiting and using my voice and speaking. So I moved up very quickly in the Mary Kay world at that time. Won a pink Cadillac. You
did get a pink Cadillac.
I did. You read that in my bio. I don't think you realized what you were reading. You're
no, I did. I read it. Yeah, I remember reading.
It's kind of a trophy on wheels thing, but it wasn't just that. It was over $100,000 in sales with a team. And I left that, and I left at the top, but I just ended up doing other things. So I kind of moved on to other companies, and then it's led me to a lot of different other stories.
So now, how did you develop the program you're doing now?
Well, this is what's so cool about what I'm doing now, is that after doing the Mary Kay thing, I then started my own business my own makeup agency, my own makeup training. I had developed products, and I started doing a lot of that. But then what happened is that Chalene Johnson, she's a big influencer. She was my hip hop teacher down in Orange County, believe it or not. She got turned on to Brendon Bouchard. So Brendon Bouchard, if you don't know, is huge. So he's a big influencer. In fact, his mom lives here in Las Vegas. It's just so adorable. Cool. Christian, hi, if you're saying hello. But so I got turned on to Brendon, and then I met Brendon's voice coach, and they were doing events together. A guy named Roger Love, a beautiful man, celebrity voice coach to very famous people. And I started training with him. And then they kept bringing me in to be on their team. They go, we got to bring Lisa in. She's just so good at enrolling and bringing people in. And she's the head schmoozer and it's got all this energy. And one day Roger was giving me a lesson in Hollywood, his studio. Steve, you would have loved it. He had behind him billions of dollars of Grammy Award winning students behind him, like Gwen Stefani, Selena Gomez, she's huge, Joaquin Phoenix, Bradley Cooper. These are all Academy Award winning people. So these were all his clients. But he was the most down-to-earth guy, and he's from LA like I am. And I go, well, he's just like me. we're from LA. We're the original people, but he was so inspiring. He goes, you know what, Lisa, you're going to have a business card someday. And you're going to be doing this. You're going to be coaching people on this. In the meantime, here's a lesson for you. I have a tip. He said, I think you need to get more volume and be louder when you speak. And I went, are you kidding? I've been loud my whole life. And he's like, no, most people right now, they're just kind of whispering. They're going on camera. So I really got so intrigued with the creativity and the freedom and the flow. And if you remember, here I was flying around the world. Here I was, Mary Kay, doing my own thing. And in that time, I also, get this, worked for Tony Robbins. I started studying, everyone was doing transformation, right? In the early 90s and stuff. We were like, okay, we couldn't get enough of it. And I ended up doing Tony's trainings. They brought me in. Tony asked me, his wife, they asked me to be on their team. That's in those days when Tony's thing, he actually handpicked you to be on his team. Now it's different. I got to go to his castle down in Del Mar, meet Tony Robbins, and it just inspired me so much. So I took all that stuff. Here's Roger, here's the airlines, here's Tony Robbins, here's coming from LA, here's having freedom. Here's an airline saying, you're not worth this anymore, take a pay cut. And me going, nope, I gotta change up. So lo and behold, a few years ago, what did we start seeing? Facebook Lives. Then the pandemic happened and people are going on this camera. And I said, I got to take all my film and video background and makeup background and this voice thing, merge it together and help people come alive on camera. That's the name of my group, Come Alive on Camera Group.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
So of all those experiences, I'm not going to ask you about each one, but
I know I'm so old, it would take forever, Steve.
Well, we have all afternoon. Anyways, how did you enjoy Mary Kay?
Oh,
did you enjoy the training, doing the training? And
and again, this was way back. It was before everyone was using Facebook and Instagram and all that. So it was completely
different. Internet probably didn't exist yet.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
I mean, I come from a world like that, and the internet didn't even, it wasn't even a thought in anybody's mind yet.
Yeah, no, and it was old school, which actually was great because it's taught me so many. It taught me, Mary Kay did for me, and which was to meet Mary Kay. I was a top producer in my graduating class, so we all got to go to Texas for our training, and we got to go to her mansion, her beautiful mansion. It was gorgeous. It was lovely, and it did have a soft color of pink, but not tacky. I mean, she was so classy. But Mary Kay taught me how to acknowledge people, how to bring out people's stories, how to enroll people on having a bigger, better life. I never cared about the cosmetics. I had already worked in Beverly Hills. I was using Chanel. I had done all kinds of stuff. So the cosmetics wasn't the thing, but it was the first experience for me, especially back in those days. Now there's so many duplications of that thing, but that type of business. But Mary Kay was always awarding you and giving you things like, you want to win something here, win a car, win a vacation. But Mary Kay just taught me how to really acknowledge and bring people in and build them up. I was one of their major recruiters. I won a Diamond Bumblebee. So in the Mary Kay world, that's less than 1%, less than 1% of her millions and millions of people that ever even get a Cadillac or a Bumblebee, believe it or not. So I learned so much from it, and I used all that stuff to this day.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And then when you moved on to Tony Robbins, I'm just trying to think of some of the people I know who also worked for Tony Robbins a long time ago.
Oh God, I can't even remember. I just knew Becky, his first wife, Becky Robbins. Do you remember Becky?
Yep. He was cool. He was like the first, I was going to say guru that I knew of. And then I met Jim Rohn.
That was his mentor. Yeah, I saw Jim. Jim Rohn actually came one time to Irvine way back then, and he spoke. And I remember meeting Jim Rohn in person, at this event. He might have been a guest for Tony because Tony Robbins was doing a lot of business trainings in Irvine and Newport Beach and different places,
Yeah.
But I remember him coming up and I thought, oh, this guy's sweet, but he's not Tony. And then later I realized, are you kidding? Tony's him. He's just got a presentation skill. See, that's the key of why I do what I do also, is because you can steal like an artist. I mean, that book, Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, great book. And he's saying everybody steals things, but it's your way of presenting and using things. And I think that's the genius. That's the stuff I learned after working with Tony and doing the firewalk. That's actually when I did win the Cadillac, because it really freed me up, gave me more tools of communication skills.
Did you burn your feet?
Not at all. That's why you do it the right way, or you do burn your feet. You know how you burn your feet in Tony Robbins' firewalk? You know how you do it?
No.
This is a metaphor. The whole thing's a metaphor with Tony, people. It's not anything trippy, okay? It's all metaphors, the whole thing. Whole firewalk's a metaphor. You burn your feet because you don't believe you're going to get to the other side. You don't believe that there's a cool moss underneath you. You don't believe that you don't have a vision. You don't know what's on the other side. You don't even know how to celebrate anything. If you're that person, you're going to come up to those stones and you're going to go, I can't do this. But I'll tell you, can I tell you a quick story?
I would imagine by then, most people he's put, I can do this in your head.
Oh, so I flew up to San Francisco the day I was going to staff this training, right? For this big, huge training. And I was praying to God, please rain, please rain, please rain. Don't let us do this. Like I thought rain was going to stop Tony Robbins, right? So I get to the event, there's only a couple thousand in those days, believe it or not. He's got like 30,000 now. And the staff people, they said, hey, do you want to go ahead and be a student today so you can do the firewalk? And I went, okay. So he takes everybody outside, thousands of people. And there's a bonfire 20 feet up in the air. How many of you believe you can do this? 0 of us. 6 hours later, to your point, brainwashes us for 6 hours on belief systems. And then we come out to African music, like we're taking drink in the water. And then they had like people that would look at you in your eyes and go, okay, you can go. Okay, you can go. But if you look like crazy, they're like, no, you can't go. And I did it. And I loved it. It was beautiful. It felt like cool water.
That is so amazing. This is the first time I worked with somebody who could like remove that ceiling that we all have, right? Yes. I worked with a guy. His name was Oscar Mink.
Oh, okay.
Like nobody knows him. He was a college professor and he worked in companies.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, I had dinner with Oscar and his partner, and it was amazing. From between the beginning of dinner and the end, he had me without really doing anything, just a conversation. He had removed all the ceilings I had. It was like I could do anything. It was amazing. It was a cool talent.
Wow. Oh, you froze for a second. Exactly.
I can't hear you.
You know what? I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I froze for a second. Can you hear me now? Yeah, it looked like we froze for a second.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, it's not very clear. Oh, well, I think it's just the StreamYard maybe with me today. Anyway, it's good enough. It's a podcast too. We can actually do audio on this, right? Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. You know what? I get what you're saying, because I was in a company called LifeSpring. Do you remember LifeSpring and Landmark Forum and all those kind of things?
Yeah, I did a lot of work in Landmark.
Yeah. Now, Landmark, I think we talked about this. Landmark was a soft version of LifeSpring. LifeSpring I had done many years before was very hardcore. We really totally went deep into people's consciousness of breaking patterns, but emotionally by physically doing things that were pretty
Does LifeSpring still exist?
What happened is they sold out the rights to their training, so people can buy this training under a different name. So you won't know it's LifeSpring, but I'll know it when I'll see things. I go, oh, that's a LifeSpring training. They might move it around. There's a Shonda Supner. She's another big influencer, and she has a business training. And actually, I went to one of her trainings with like 5,000 people, and she had this other type of transformational training. And the head trainer came up on the stage, and I go, oh, I know him. He was in LifeSpring, so he's her head trainer. But it really works for her, because the point of all that. And when I was in LifeSpring, I was in Mary Kay. We used to crack up. They used to go, what are you guys having, a pink funeral out there with the Cadillacs? But we would say, you're either in Mary Kay, you're going to come in Mary Kay and you'll do LifeSpring, or if you're in LifeSpring trying to find a purpose, we'll take you into Mary Kay. So we were just unstoppable.
Yeah. That is so cool. Tell me about the Badass Live Method.
I love that one.
It's a cool name.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
I like it. Some of the things on marketing, what do you think about this? Sometimes they say, hey, you should have exactly the result in the title. And sometimes you can't exactly say, okay, do my training and you'll, it's the 20-day lose weight thing. you can do that, but sometimes the badass live video method to me kind of says something. What's it say to you when you hear that? I'm just curious.
It kind of makes me think of, I'm going to use this. So when you came out of LifeSpring, after doing those programs, I'm going to say you were a badass and you're just teaching other people how to do it.
The word badass for me really, and I know it's kind of been overused, but I don't care. I started a beauty business, my own makeup business called On Location Artists. And then I changed it down to OLA makeup. And then people were hearing oil of Olay, and I'm like, okay, forget that. It's bugging me. So then I thought, you know what? What's a badass? A badass is somebody that's really confident and strong and fun and creative. And there's no restrictions, meaning I'm kind of a rebel in a way, but I'm also very gracious and lovely. So badass to me is like they kind of own their power. Like, he's such a badass. So you can say it in a way. It's all about your tone of voice, and that's why I love what I do for a living. If I say, hey, he's a badass, okay, now it's a little brat. She's such a badass. Look at her. Wow. He's amazing. So so the method I have that I teach and I coach on is to help you get out of these restraints that you have, to stop being in your head so much, to give you freedom to show up. And I think that's the training you did in the LifeSpring trainings and these trainings we're talking about, is we want to show up. We think we're showing up authentically or real, but we still have stuff that kind of gets in the way. It's not that it's bad. I'm not about everything. We don't need any of this stuff. We don't need it.
Exactly.
I wasn't broken down. I didn't come from a really messed up family. I didn't have a lot of,
I always felt bad that I didn't.
You know what, Steve? I was just like you. I used to go, one time when I went to the first training, the basic, I remember at LifeSpring, I thought, well, these guys are all messed up. It was like 200, but then after a while, when I went into the more intense training and then I became a leader in the training, I realized all of us, it doesn't matter where you're at. It can be here, here, here. Tony Robbins especially, he was even more intense than the LifeSpring for me. Tony Robbins' thing was, in fact, he was like not going into your past. He was saying, look at where are you right now? Let's rewire this. Let's create a new peptide. Let's create a new experience. You have a bunch of shit experiences, great, fine. But let's create new ones and let's shift out of crap that even if you have a bad day, we can help you shift out of it right now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right now. That's why I love what I do.
Yeah. Do you remember like one of the first big aha moments you had?
Well, I've had
so going through the
ones.
trainings, and like one that sticks out in your mind.
Think about that. You're talking about the LifeSpring trainings and all that.
Yeah, or Tony Robbins, any of them. Like for me, I remember one time, and I had a really, I don't want to say important. I had a pretty big job at the time. And I'm doing this, and I'm standing in line. This is the last day. I'm standing in line, and I'm going to tell people what I did over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I get behind a guy who like moved a mountain from the West Coast to the East Coast, and just this amazing story, right?
Yeah.
And I'm ready to go back and sit down, except the guy, I knew that the guy had picked me, and I had no choice. So I told this story about my family, and in telling it, I was looking down, and then I looked up. Here's the point: is that at the time I didn't think anybody valued what I had to say.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And I looked up, and it was about 350 people in the room. I looked up, everybody was sitting on the edge of their chair. They were crying, like all of these things. It's like, oh, it's me who doesn't value what I have to say.
Bingo. Exactly. That's a great story, because that reminds me of an exercise that there were a lot of people like you in this exercise that had big breakthroughs. And the exercise was an exercise where they would tell this story, and they did a lot of closed eye processes where you're in the dark and this guy's going to take you on a journey, and all you have to do is you're just going to listen. Right now in LifeSpring, you never know what the hell is going to come out of their mouth, but I was in the moment. It was very easy for me to be in the moment. I didn't have any resistance in this advanced course. So he starts to tell the story that we're out on a boat and everyone's out in the ocean, and we hit this iceberg and it was like Titanic and everybody's in the water. And he says, you've got right now, they're going to have two of you, some of you, wait, how did he say it? Just in the next minutes, some of you are just going to make the lifeboat and many of you are going to just die. You're going to die. Who wants to make the lifeboat? Who wants to make the lifeboat? And do you know what? 50 people are laying on the ground, and me and another person jumped right up to get up to the front to the mic and say, I'm going to live, and whatever the saying it was. And I remember how many people would not get up to play the game of living. They just would lay there. And so the last two that the trainer would come to say, why are you still laying here? And it was this whole thing. They didn't value their life. They thought the game didn't matter. And so they're drowning. They literally were okay to drown instead of to just jump up and fight for the microphone to get to the front. But me over here, I'm just like, I was in the front and I fought with the other person. But what it did for me, all these things caused so much, like I'm realizing that I care, I can make a difference to people. So yeah, there was a lot of moments, but the fire walk was the big one though, because that one really, it was just delightful. And I used it to help other people. I helped people that were in prison. I helped people that were pregnant. Meaning I taught people how to breathe and to use, these energies to shift for many reasons, for fun, for laughter, for pain, all of it. So yeah, it's all accumulated. That's a badass, to tell you the truth.
That is cool. So what kind of people do you work with?
I work with a variety of people. Obviously, I work with entrepreneurs that are coaches or course creators that want to do better when they speak on the camera. Sometimes people have their funnels, or they're trying to create a funnel, or they're trying to create a course, and they get all caught up with all this tech, but their presentation skills, they know they want to be better when they speak on the camera. I've also worked with corporate accounts. I have a client that is a designer in Irvine. She has a multi-million-dollar architect company. A dud on the camera, boring as shit. Her girlfriend made her go, look, you got to meet Lisa because you suck on the camera. I have people with accents. I have a guy from Russia and his wife's Ukrainian, and he's an IT guy. Oh my God. Snooze festival. So I help a lot of people that are kind of snoozy, accenty, and stuck. And I help people like myself. We love to learn more. We want to do better on the camera. We're creative. So that's who I help a lot.
That's cool. And so if somebody wanted to learn more about your programs, what would they do?
Oh, you know what? You can find me obviously on Facebook. I have did I freeze? Okay, go ahead. I can't tell.
Yeah, you froze for just a second.
Okay,
just a second you froze.
Okay. So how they can find me, Steve, is just is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so how they can find me, Steve, is they can come over to Facebook, and I have a fabulous group. It's called Come Alive on Camera Tribe, the Come Alive on Camera Tribe. And it's a place where you can go live anytime you want. You can practice, you can get feedback. I have a lot of lessons and workshops in there. I also do private consultations if you want to DM me at Facebook under Lisa Monette. I'm in Las Vegas, and I love chatting with people and sharing. I can look at your videos and give you a little bit of an audit, so that's great too. And if you want to see my bio, just go to comealiveencamera.com, and I've got all kinds of cool stuff in there. You can see what I'm up to and what's next, that kind of stuff.
That's cool. So they don't have to listen to me read it.
No, I don't do written bios. See, that's the point.
That's excellent then.
Written bios are boring, and unless you're a professional speaker that's really on it, when people read your bio, it's still not as fun as I did a live video bio, because this is funny, because my friend goes, you need a bio on your website. I go, I don't like bios, okay, unless they're really hot. So I did a 6-minute video, take me behind the scenes bio. And so if you want to learn more, that's where it is. But to tell you the truth, I really do love helping people. Also, I like to give back to the MLM companies, the direct sale company like Mary Kay's, and all the different ones, because that is something I love. I love helping entrepreneurs to recruit and train, but to get more freed up when they speak on the camera.
That's cool. Hey, I really want to thank you for being with us today. And it's just been great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's so great that I met you. I don't know where we where we met, some group or something, right?
We met in some group, yeah, a long time ago.
Some group there. See, guys, you know what's funny, Steve? I'm going to start. I have a little black book. Somebody gave me a connection to 200 groups on Facebook that you can promote. And I thought, geezy wheezy, how are we going to remember all these people? So I'm doing my new little black book too. I got to start recognizing these groups because look at this is we should be saying how we met.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Thank you so much. So
Yeah,
nice to
thank
be here.
you. I appreciate you taking the time and just
Thank you.
sharing part of your life with us.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, I just wanted to, before we get done, I wanted to give you a heads up that really a quick story. Personally, I tried everything over the years to lose weight with little results. I went to the gym, I worked out, um, I was eating better, I cut out beer, all those things. I even tried like 10 or 15 programs, and I lost about 40 pounds. And with that, um, I really, I got found a program that I found and I lost 40 pounds. So I just wanted to tell you about it. You can learn more about it at stevepeck.co/elite, stevepeck.co/elite. And what we have is a 30-minute video that really talks to you about the kinds of things that you eat, the reasons why you're not losing weight. So for that, go there and see what you like. Thanks.